Hello, can you hear me? I'll introduce myself because not many people will know of me, but I stood against that little guy called Sadiq Khan. Always gets a warm welcome. Yeah, I stood against him for Reform UK. I was asked to actually stand as London mayoral candidate for Reform because for 15 years I've stopped £200 billion of tax rises on the motorist. Who drives here? Everyone drive? Who drives a diesel? Who drives a petrol? Okay, you know what's coming out. Who drives an electric vehicle? Okay, it's very sad, you know, I stood as London Mayor and we would have got a lot more people in the Assembly if Nigel Farage declared his leadership at that point, but he didn't. He waited until the election, and I stood down in Dover as a potential MP down there, and I came second. I'm not the Tories into third, which is good. After just 3.5 weeks of campaigning, the Labour candidate had 2 years. But anyway, enough of that. I left Reform on a matter of principle, and the matter of principle is very simple. I believe in Reform UK's policies, no taxation, you know, defend our borders, and all of those things we all agree with. But when I got, just before, about 4 or 5 days before I left, I got a text from a senior Reform headquarters person, very senior, said, if you continue to talk about Tommy Robinson, you will be expelled. Yeah, just dwell on that for a moment. This is supposed to be a party of free speech. And I said, I'm not having it. So I left. And that's the important thing at the moment in time. I don't believe Reform, and this is an invite to Nigel Farage, Richard Tice. Please could you sit down and talk with Tommy Robinson and get rid of your bloody differences. I hope you agree with that. And that's what I'm going to keep calling for. I'm sorry, I stand on a matter of principle. I don't care a damn about politicians and their egos. All I care is about free speech. And Tommy must be freed and released from solitary now. And as usual, the mainstream media attack me on this sort of thing because I'm a far-right thug. Do I look like a far-right thug? But the important thing is, what really turned it for me with Richard Tice in interviews called that lot. And I'm proud to be that lot. And also been called a nut job by certain people. I thought there's a lot of Reform friends, I thought there's a lot of good people there in Reform, and I still think Reform is the best option. We've got to get rid of Starmer. And we've got to get a Tory party that is basically like Margaret Thatcher was running all those years ago. If we got that in a situation like that, that's why the right should get together, sit round the table, get rid of all the differences and destroy Starmer. And stop picking on people like Tommy Robinson, because that man, to me, is a political hero. And the other thing also, we've got this two-tier policing, this two-tier justice. There's loads of people with the hurting words. They should be released as well. They should be, all of their criminal charges should be dropped. They should get an apology. And also, one of the groups I'm supporting big time are the 2 Team 4. Have you heard of the 2 Team 4? Well, these are the 2 Team 4. All they did, after the 50th anti-ULEZ protest, they were in Tooting. But Sadiq Khan said they were causing harassment outside his house, which was 500 metres away, and he wasn't even there. But these people have been found guilty for harassment after a 50th anti-ULEZ protest. And the 2 Team 4, I think some of them are here today, I really would say, can you get behind them? So from my point of view, I'd like to thank, it's a huge honour to be here, and I'm right behind Tommy, and I'm not going away from politics completely, but I'm still fighting for the motorists. Thank you.
Well, what a lovely man Howard is. I don't think 5 minutes was enough. Perhaps he'll come on my podcast so I can pick his brain a little bit further. What do you reckon? Howard comes on the podcast? Yeah. Now, has anybody seen Wendell? Anyone seen him? Another urban scoop legend? He's in disguise, apparently. Anybody seen Wendell? He's just... Wendell! You're up, brother! Come on! Give it up for Wendell, ladies and gentlemen!
Maybe not go there. It's a bit risky that. You can use it though.
Good afternoon all, can you all see me? Can I begin by saying how great it is for me to be out here today as an English gentleman in my beautiful suit supporting Tommy Robinson, and when I was invited to speak today, those of you who know me will know I've got a big mouth and I can speak for hours, and I was invited to speak to you guys for 2 hours. Can you believe that? But I say no, I'm only going to do it for 5 minutes because other people have to speak, but I am really proud to be out here today. And I'm being honest, those of you who know me will know that I used to believe that Tommy Robinson was a right-wing racist, and I did. I have no problem in admitting this to thousands and thousands of people, but I did my own research and I found out that Tommy is an English gentleman and he is fighting for this country, and that is so good. I went to Telford, I engaged with Tommy, and Tommy has given me an opportunity to stand before you guys, and you may remember some months ago, Tommy called me onto the stage and he invited citizens journalists to support the cause, and I've been doing that. And all of these citizens journalists here today, please give them all a round of applause. Please give them all a round of applause. Without these guys, we will not be able to counter the rubbish being put out by the mainstream media. But I am going to end now, unusually, but please make sure, go on your phones now, hit the subscribe button for Urban Scoop. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and tomorrow I will be at Speaker's Corner on Tommy Robinson's Twitter page from 1 till 4 p.m. If you want to carry on this discussion, let's make sure, look into Speaker's Corner, follow me down at Speaker's Corner, we can have a discussion. But before I do go, can I just have another 1 minute? I'm going to ask these guys and girls, please, let's raise the roof of these buildings. Tommy is going to be listening. Tommy is going to be hearing you. Can we sing? Oh, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Oh, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Hey! Big up! Now I'm back to my camera.
What a guy! I wish I'd have had the initiative to take the mic out of the stand earlier. I hate standing there. Big love, brother. So we're getting updates from behind stage of the counter-protesters, the lazy left kicking a can about. You know the ones. There's about 500 of them with absolutely nothing to protest against. Who in God's name